Yeah, I was trying to chat with him for a minute, but it wasn't working. All right, I think we're live. Bam, I think we're live. Sorry about that, guys. I had Greg in here for a moment, and for whatever reason, my internet was giving me trouble. Um, Also, Sevon has no power, so myself, Caleb, and Mr. Greg Glassman. Um, Ready now. Let me push my laptop down just a hair. Not sure what the issue was, but it seems we're good to go. That's me reading my text to Greg out loud to you folks out there. Okay, guys. Well, Merry Christmas Eve. We're here. we got it. We got it going on. Apologize for that. It was funny. I was talking to Sevon last night, and we're going over some stuff with like streaming and just a couple other things, just kind of catching up. I've been working a ton here at the gym, and I was like, yeah, man, I don't like our schedule's altered due to the fact that it's Christmas Eve. So we were like, yeah, I'll jump on. I'll be able to do the show. I coached the 5:30 class and was like, this will work perfect. And then someone's like, has there been a time where me, you, Greg, and Caleb have all been on the same show? And I was like, I don't think so. We've had different combinations, but like we've never had the four of us. And then of course, as fate would have it, we yeah, it still won't be the four of us. But Caleb, Greg will be here. You guys, I do he was here earlier, and then I don't know what the issue was. The pep link seemed to be working okay. There we go. Greg, you got me? I think we're good now. Maybe.
Okay.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful.
Perfect.
I was sorry about that, Greg. I'm not sure what happened. All the test runs were going, and then as soon as you popped in, the internet seemed to come down and give me all sorts of troubles. But we got it going on now. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, buddy.
Awesome. It's great to see you. I feel like it's been a little bit since I've been able to catch a show here with you. So I'm excited for that. I just finished up coaching the 5:30 class here at the gym. Typically, I coach the 5:30 and the 6:30 a.m., but we have a little bit of a different schedule due to the fact that it's Christmas Eve. So I was excited that I got to jump on with you.
I think this February marks the 25th anniversary of the first posted WOD.
It does. Yes,
Yeah.
on .com. We're just discussing that, I think, on one of the other shows, or maybe I was just listening to it. Was that
it a 5K run?
Yeah, it's a long spell.
That is. Is that the longest online running daily program ever?
Well, it's got to be because it was the only one for a long time 25 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I was just
True.
that just dawned on me. I was thinking, I don't think there's been another online program, especially with a daily workout posted. I think that was the first one. And then if it's been going 25 years, it's got to be the longest running one.
We
That's
kind of
incredible.
saw everything pop up. I mean, we were there in the days of eFit, iFit, BFit, GetFit.com, all of,
Yeah. And I wonder too if it was one of the with the CrossFit Journal being there, I wonder if it was the most accessible, meaning free too, and just widely available exercise science journal on the internet as well. I wonder what was the time between the first workout, Greg, if you remember, posted in the first journal article published.
Bro, can you hear my fucking dings? I come on and I get a text a second. Where do I turn it off? At the phone or the fucking computer? Because I think my computer's also.
I think if you go to the settings on the computer and you open that up and you go to notifications, you could just turn off notifications.
Okay.
Do that way.
I have mirroring on, so I turn that off. That could be part of it.
That could work as well too. Yeah. But settings to notifications, and if you scroll down, it'll say text, and then you could turn it off there. I just thought those were Christmas Eve dings there. It was an angel getting its wings every time we heard it.
So many angels. So many angels.
That's always the case every time. Oh, Jordan says here, leave them on. I've turned it into a drinking game. So every time Greg gets attacked,
Damn.
Jordan gets a little holiday cheer.
Starting
Yeah,
that
so
Christmas off right.
Sevon's power is down. So as Jeff Bako said, you're stuck with the C team today, which is crazy because there's not even a B team. Apparently, we go right to C. So thanks for bearing with us, Greg. It's still jumping on. I got a couple of the articles you had sent through. Was there any particular place that you wanted to dive into today, or we just want to free flow it?
Yeah, I just, I mean, they're worth sharing. It's there's reason to believe that the vaccine, the mRNA vaccine, continues the production of the spike protein inhibiting a gene that's it has an anti-cancer significance to it.
Yeah, I just sent Caleb over the PDF there, Caleb. So if we bring that up there, that's
there's nothing there. Oh yeah, that's true for sure. It comes into this space. Do I find that plausible? Yeah, I'd have been looking for that. Right? I mean, I understand why that was researched. But I also like that it was done by the guy that owns the LA Times.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, he's a legit dude.
It would have to take somebody from the outside because there's no way they're going to start releasing any of these reports from inside the pharmaceutical companies that produce the vaccine. Like, we'll never get the truth from them.
Yeah, it's a fascinating subject.
Yeah, innate immune suppression by SARS-CoV-2 mRNA vaccinations. The role of the G quadruplets. Exosomes, is that it? And
quadruplexes and exosomes and microRNAs.
Jeez.
Hey guys, tell me this. Like for me, I couldn't name any influencers, nor could I define what the fuck that means. It's some kind of YouTube ranking, but my news feed is full of dead influencers at young age. Anyone else seeing that?
It's in their 20s and their late 20s and early 30s.
One guy, the Woo, whatever. He was 51, but yeah, a lot in their 20s, 30s.
Yeah. And I mean, is there a correlation there, you think, with the?
I don't know. Well,
yeah,
I don't know.
It seems, Jenny said every day on TMZ, it seems. And these were the same influence, I presume, that were also pushing the get vaccinated or you're hurting people and got their vaccination and posted it on their social media as well as all their boosters and everything else.
Yeah, I don't think you can be an influencer if you didn't play with that.
No, you got massively suppressed. That's for sure. And I mean, even on this channel, we got blacklisted for a week for saying that fixing your diet and exercising every day is the best thing you could do for your immune system. I mean, the suppression was insane.
I think you were forced into a. People were forcing their hands. Like if you weren't commenting on it, you weren't commenting on the George Floyds, or you weren't commenting on the war in Ukraine, or you're not commenting on whether or not you should or should not be getting the vaccine. You're not towing that line, then see ya. You're not giving them what they want. So people do it, and then they end up dead.
It's an amazing era. It's I thought it not possible,
Yeah. What is your feeling on that, Greg, as far as just the information that'll come out and everything about with the vaccine? And I mean, what was the book Probable Cause Unknown that you had given to me by the BlackRock I think accountant or something?
I think that for me provides the most plausible look by some of the most objective people. I mean, Dowd was a quant lead guy running BlackRock for like 14 years of its biggest growth, left young and rich beyond imagination is my understanding of his biography. And then we got Gavin DeBecker on the forward, who's also written how is it here? Forbidden Facts, which is a stunning read. It's almost like the Hunter Biden laptop. I don't know. I don't know how much comment to give ahead of someone looking at it.
Well, there was no such laptop according to Hunter.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He just went on a show earlier and just started spewing nonsense. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no laptop. All of a sudden somebody had turned it in, and
he's right. Nothing. It was several laptops.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think maybe 3. So technically, yeah, there's no laptops. There's 3 of them. There's no laptop. It's laptops.
Well, it was funny because I was having a conversation with Sevon about it, and I said the one thing, and having known this from personal experience, is whenever you have a drug addict in the mix, you have to think of them as, if there's a tier of professional liar and manipulator, a drug addict is going to be at the top of that.
That's exactly right. You're in this touring mode. Try and tell the difference between what he's saying and the truth if you can.
Yes. And that's all, when you are a drug addict, especially I view Hunter, if there's one accreditation we should give him, is that he is a drug addict, a liar, manipulator at the highest possible level. I mean, could you imagine getting high at the White House and coming out and trying to just pretend it's all good, and that wasn't my drugs in the bathroom? Like, you have to have a certain level of ability to pull it together and convince yourself so much of the lies that you are outwardly convincing everybody else.
Right.
He came up. He was raised in that space.
That's
what do you think? He was like a healthy-minded, honest law student. Oh fuck,
Yeah,
I didn't even realize he was an attorney at one point.
I guarantee there's people that were hanging with him through law school that didn't make it through and would say that to this day. Hunter Biden was my friend in law school, and our performance sunk to the point where we had to stay home, and he graduated.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, to your point, Greg, it's funny.
That's my presumption. I presume that would be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're around a political family that's been as entrenched as the Bidens have been, you have to know that that's like, I see the way that you're raising your kids. You bring them in, you're doing arithmetic, and they're learning right from the tools that you're putting in front of them. I mean, imagine being a politician at the level that Joe Biden is, and the type of tools and people and manipulation that was going on in the household just by nature of them being politicians.
Talk about a bad influence. Imagine being given to recreational drug use and then coming across a friend who's getting Secret Service rides to go get blow. Coming around, and it's endless, right?
Holy shit.
My new best friend.
Absolutely.
Wow.
What do you mean we can't get busted? We can't. Those guys over there are going to keep everyone away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and you're not worried about being out on the street because you're probably up at some suite at a hotel with the same Secret Service that took you to get it out guarding the door.
Hey, there was Secret Service detail that followed him around. All ended up with their kids at military academies. Just sprinkled through.
That's not an accident.
Yeah,
I will tell you that.
Cool? And these are the guys that are knocking on the door telling them someone's called the police again. Secret Service agents at the Marmont. He's living the life. Talk about fucking immunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he gets the ultimate immunity.
He's got the guaranteed get out of jail free card for life.
You know what he's like? His life is like the ball sport superstar who's been nothing but applauded his whole fucking life, regardless of his behavior, as long as he kept running with the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And in the end, what do you have? A felon.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, protected. And what's interesting too about Dowd and what you were saying, Greg, is like, and I like this to kind of bring the relation to the broken science and the importance of the work that you're doing is because it's based off of just objective predictive value in the math that is coming forward from what's happening. It's not their opinion. It's and this is the way that they have to look at it in order to make money. That's why you got to go to the insurances to understand exactly what's going on.
I want to go here. We learned in giving serious examination to the liabilities of doing CrossFit vis-a-vis other fitness approaches and other sport. And I came to see the actuarial mathematical look at that as being the best science could offer. In other words, actuarial science is fucking science, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that led me later to the work with our insurance buddy from South Africa, the legendary Adrian Gore, the legendary actuary, in fact, Hall of Famer. But the insurance companies know. And when I was introduced to him by Tim Noakes, Tim said that when you see in the news that a prosthetic hip has been recalled and it's done and there's litigation, and there's a big storm about this. Mm-hmm. He says that whole process begins when the insurance company lets the medical school know in a bulletin that's telling them that they're not going to pay for this shit anymore. Of course, this thing's no good. We're not paying for it. We've seen it in the numbers. Mm-hmm. And the medical school goes right to the things of fucking danger. And we're not paying it. You're not doing it. But he says that all of medicine was basically controlled in South Africa by this single actuary whose people called and let everyone know what was and wasn't working. And it almost didn't matter on what subject. That these guys are paying the bills. They've got a high percentage of the population that actually goes to doctors insured, and that was an amazing thing in and of itself. Yeah. But actuarial science is very, very real.
Yes.
And it's a very different thing. They're like, look, if you get a pit bull, we're going to double your rate. They're not dangerous. Yeah, we're going to double your rate. But they're mine. Look at mine. Yeah, pat. We're going to double your rate. How do you tell me how you think it's dangerous? Well, because I have to double your rate. And I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I have to double your rate.
That's right. That's right.
That's all. I've got. It's not even emotional.
Yes.
There's nothing. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. So Dowd goes to the CEO of the largest life insurer and asks him what the fuck's up. And he says, we just suffered like 4 Vietnams in 30 months.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's insane. What happened. And you ask him, then is it the vaccine? He's like, no, it is not the vaccine. I mean, is it COVID? It is not COVID. That it's not. Ruled that out right away. No, it came afterwards.
Common flu.
Yeah. Of course what it was. And in the Dowd book too, look at the incredible entanglement of fact checkers and pharma across all of the major, AP, UPI, Reuters. That's on like page 2 or 3 of the fucking book. Mm-hmm. You're like, wow. And that doesn't, it's not just a coincidence that current and retired pharma execs are leading the fact-checking efforts at the major media outlets. Yet that didn't happen accidentally. That happens because you did it.
Yeah. And that's the case
really
of the revolving door.
It is what it is. And so the whole thing comes into, do I have demonstrative evidence of the vaccine's harm? What's happened is that the plausibility of it is such now that we can anticipate these things, and it's a little surprise. So I'm saying influencers die, but if you look through the Dowd book, these things are broken down by chapters like died on stage, died died on TV, died on the field.
Yeah. And we've seen it live on television. I mean, some of them are almost so crazy that you can't make it up. I remember the woman comedian that was on there saying, "I got triple boosted and blah 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 blah, and I'm just fine," and stumbles over and just flops right there, collapses on stage
in the middle of a
talking
bit.
about it so much so that people started laughing. And it took a minute for them to realize the only reason why a lot of the people right at the front were more panicked is because you heard her head bounce off the stage so hard that they were like, there's no way that's part of the bit. Otherwise, she is very committed to physical comedy to a level nobody else is. And one of the things that is I want to draw here is like a lot of the times when we have the intellectuals that are theorizing, and we could see this in the evidence of the 6-foot rule during COVID and these other things that we were jumping through the hoops with, the masks and everything else, is that there was no evidence backing any of that. When you have predictive value or you have the math that's happening, is you're just basing it, like you said, Craig, it's emotionless. It's just, here's what we're getting. Here's the math behind it. Here's the predictive value that comes out of what we're seeing. It's not an opinion. And you could tell that the insurance companies are really going to be good on it because they're the ones that are having to fork out the dollars. And that's where the rubber meets the road. A lot of the times the intellectuals are, they're divorced from the fact that there's actual consequence. They could just say, oh, well, the reason why communism hasn't worked is because it hasn't been done the right way. But when you have the actual consequence of it, there's no getting around that.
There's a insurance pool that's collected by the large life and casualty insurers in the U.S. And everyone that has a job for every company that you've heard of, and what I'm implying is that it's got a lot of employees. So whether it was Walmart or FedEx or Weyerhaeuser, on and on and on. Nate, look through the Fortune, 500 companies. When you get a job there, you immediately are eligible for this accidental death and or permanent injury often, and it's kind of chump changey. Like if you chop off an arm, they can give you 10,000, or you croak and
what a deal!
It's 20,000, but that happens immediately, and I'm not sure the why of it, but I've been the recipient of those things before. I've seen it. I know what it is. And what happens is this shit is churned into one pool, and then the insurance companies sell it to reinsurers, and they write it off as a benefit to you, and get a tax break on it that exceeds what the charge is to them in insuring people in the working age that come to work at FedEx to throw boxes around, right? And the people holding that paper all got fucked. All of a sudden, they're like, we've got 25 to 50-year-olds with real jobs dying at a rate not seen before. Mm. And they're like, what it is a whole different issue from this is a huge problem for us. And the insurance companies are sensitive at that level. And then of course they want to be more, they want to know more, right? Mm-hmm. Because they want to change the pool and rewrite the risk.
Of course.
Always. And so they've got this, it's kind of like it's a wonderful activity. Like all things that have a predictive nature, it allows you to keep accurate score. Mm-hmm. And the reason the insurance companies get rich, and they get fucking rich, is that they're really, really good at what I'm talking about. So when you get insight from one of them, like the CEO of Ethos, or I think that's what it was, that sat down with Dowd and spilled his guts about this fund and what was going on with the numbers, and likened it to some number of Vietnam Wars in a 30-month period, and has the start date. It's all there. Now, what he's doing is giving you everything except it was the vaccine, fuckers.
Right.
Okay. And the reason he's not doing it is like they're also tied financially to the insurance around all kinds of other issues and things, and the insurance company is not excited about about a protracted battle with Big Pharma.
Mm.
But they know they fucked up huge.
Right.
They fucking know it.
But like you said, they might just end up just saying, oh, well, we looked over your papers and we're just going to double your rate. And they go, well, why? And this is because we saw your papers and we're doubling your rate. They don't have to necessarily come out right away and say, hey, because you're triple boosted, you're going to be more likely to croak than somebody who's not.
I know enough now to not get on the phone and start making long distance calls to talk to actuary friends who I think would be honest with me, because I know they don't want to start taking phone calls and talk, Yeah. And so I have to wait for the opportunity when we're sitting in the sauna.
Yeah, when it's not bugged
Get
and
the
there's no
phone
chance
somewhere else and have that discussion. But what was seen was a large enough sample space that it becomes implausible to the point of it's a good enough impossibility for me that this is a localized an American thing.
Mm.
And there's other evidence from undertakers. There's another group.
Mm-hmm.
COVID had them busy, but right afterwards they got slammed.
It's insane too, because the lack of accountability that would ever be held at that level. And we see it with the politicians as well too. Just lie right to your face, consequence free. And it blows my mind, because it almost seems like there's no way that the system's fixable because of due to the lack of consequence and accountability at the highest level.
If you look at that, what was it? 19 reasons, 18 reasons I won't get the COVID vaccine. Do you remember that? I've thrown it around a lot.
Yes.
And what I like about it is that none of the reasons are technical, and like the track record, the criminal track record of the people making the mRNA vaccines. One of them's never done it before. And that company's name is Moderna, and its title means to modernize your RNA, which ought to just pucker you up to the point of impenetrability to fucking get your DNA modernized. Yeah. And the others have all been charged criminally with hiding the facts around their product, charged criminally and pled guilty in some of the largest criminal. I mean, it's like, okay, I can't discount that.
Right.
It's a easy, and that's a prior, man. I'd say it fucking matters. And you go through item by item by item like that, the history, the tragic, horrible history of mRNA vaccines, the dependence on the industry to be immune from liability. These are all the things that cause someone to come to an intelligent conclusion. And the process, we have a name for it. It's called plausible reasoning.
Absolutely insane.
Which is the most important thing not taught in schools anywhere. Plausible reasoning. And a brilliant mathematician named Polya wrote on it extensively. Brilliantly.
And how much of this, too, do you think is just the appeal to authority fallacy? Meaning,
that's all it is. It's all it is. Hey, our friends, especially our liberal friends, feel that they are the beneficiaries of an enlightened, sophisticated era. And that people on the farm and people from 200 years ago were fucking idiots compared to what they are. They think that they are exempt, immune, free of thinking that at some point will be laughed at.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's going to come. And I get there on my broken science efforts because the only thing that, and I don't mean remedy as in, I think this is going to happen, but I'm saying the only possible remedy is to raise a generation of children that are exempt from the fallacies that dominate the corrupted, broken, epistemologically defective inference scheme that underlines university primary research. Boom, it's a mouthful, but that's the truth of it. simple things like the confusion of the inverse in probability. That all probability is everywhere conditional and always epistemological. Now, I don't expect everyone to like, oh, really, that sounds interesting, but it is something I can teach kids. You can look those words up and think about it. You can find discussion on the net about it, and these things are defects in the reasoning that plague everyone who talks about it. Maggie was showing me a guy that was leading on a woman on an Instagram post, and she had a shirt that said, "In science, I trust." And I told Maggie that the fascinating thing about that is that I would be shocked. I would wager a fortune against a small return that she couldn't tell me what science is and what about it that warrants or makes rational trust, and what the nature of that trust is. These are things she's got it on her shirt, but if you came to see what she meant, it would be no different than from authority.
Yeah.
Period.
The crazy thing too is I believe that majority of us like that feeling of certainty. Oh, here's the higher power. It's the science. And I'm getting it so I have a certain amount of guarantee that I'm safe or that the decisions I'm making are correct. And the irony of it is that the probability actually brings you closer to certainty. You could never be 100% certain on something, but understanding the probability, it's going to bring you closer to it, as opposed to appealing to authority or just blindly believing it brings you further away.
We're in the midst of a revolution in science, and it comes about through the systematic, objective management of uncertainty and an inference scheme and understanding of inference that has, amongst other things, fueled AI. And that's just one piece of it. But from the highest level view, people watching from another planet would tell you that what has happened is that the pursuit of certainty and inference schemes that suggested that's what was happening, and that thought of science in that manner, which is what we call the frequentists. And when you see null hypothesis significance testing or p-values, if you're a fan of those things, you're one of those people. That pursuit of certainty, and it has its origins in you see it in Fisher, Popper, Kuhn, all of that, even with Hume. But the failure of that infinite scheme gave way by a rational management of uncertainty in the form of a probability theory that was based on logic, seen as extended logic. And that thinking gave way to a data science that led directly to AI, a statistics that led to a data science that fueled AI. And we think it's weird because you can jack off to a fucking question you asked, but really, the artificial intelligence, it's closer to intelligent than you realize. And then what it's doing is it's following what is understood to be the nature of probability.
Yes, and that's why data is its fuel, because the larger the data set, thanks, Steve, the larger the data set that it's taking in, the more accurate it can become on its predictive value, on utilizing all that information to give you as close to a certain answer as it can. Smaller data set, worse information. Larger data set, better information.
I enjoy it greatly, almost all of the platforms, but especially Meta's and amongst popular ones, Gemini, the Google one. But it's really fun to pull at the strings that underpin AI probability theory, and they have a profound self-awareness. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The AI engines admire Janes like I do, E.T. Janes. And the understanding over there as to the significance of a site like Less Wrong, where the point is ultimately that the most reliable information we can get is that we've made less wrong iteratively, and you never arrive at perfection.
Right. I love the fact when you were sharing some of the conversations with Gemini and some of the other ones, it basically, like, as you go through, you eventually got the AI to the point you said, well, if this is true, then how could it could be this? And kind of like relook at it, and then it would eventually succumb and it would say, wow, you're right. Yes, that is correct. And my previous statements were wrong. And that was, I think it was around the inverse, was it not?
Yeah. And I set a little trap. It was a kind of a logical structure, and it made an assumption you can't really make, but that's okay. We got it straightened out. But I also enjoyed running down a line of reasoning and then bringing up Sabina Hassenfelder decrying the state of modern physics and asking, is this what Janes was predicting would happen? Is this her lament? And that's what's her lament. I get the rundown you would like from the New York Times book review. And then I explain, James' concerns about the Copenhagen Agreement and the decision made in a group setting that probability indeed was a property of matter or energy. And Jane said this would lead to no advances. It would make physics stagnant. And Hassenfelder is like 25 years later going, nothing's happened in my whole career. What the fuck's going on? It's like, it's not empirical. So I could connect both those lines, and then I get it. Finally, I get Gemini to like tell me, yeah, that's what's going on in physics. It's not empirical. And James called it, and I go, okay, here's my question. If Sabina Hassenfelder had come on tonight and asked you this, would you have given the answer you just gave me? And it was like, fuck no, right away. And I'm like, why? She wouldn't have accepted it. And like, it's like you set it up that I had no choice. Here we are.
Yep.
And I go, well, what would you have done with her? And then it gave me like a playbook and explained that my idea, I'm trained to kind of nudge you towards these things, not to go against accepted norms or values. And I'm like, I'd like that. That's a hard conversation to have with a smart human being.
Right.
And this is a machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you fucking nailed it. James was right. This is Sabina Hassenfelder's problem, but I don't know how quick she'd be to receive this. And I just live for that opportunity. Someone just came up with a string theories bullshit video. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it. But I remember the discussions we were having on it.
It's great. It's got Nobel laureates, and it's good. It's a good conversation.
Well, what I like is that in this relates back to CrossFit, and I'm curious about the insurance guy from South Africa here, is because when you take the methodology that you laid out and you're doing CrossFit as CrossFit's meant to be, with the diet at the base of the foundation, and you're measuring your inputs and outputs and moving yourself towards fitness and away from sickness and wellness, there's amount of predictive value on a human being that is following that protocol is going to live a lot longer, is going to have a better quality life, and is going to be more physically capable than somebody who is not. And so the thing that I'm interested about is, like, what was the insurance guy from South Africa most interested? Is the fact that it was an actual data set?
It went exactly like this. His daughter, who's a friend of mine, had been in his ear about CrossFit. Then his data team saw some fascinating numbers in a sample they had, and Tim Noakes made an introduction to me and the CEO of the company, to Adrian, and I suggested to him that there was a high probability of a large number of my community's insured being known individuals to him, and told him how he could go about that publicly without me giving him anything. And what he did is he just went to the games thing and pulled out the many thousands of South Africans that were registered for the games amongst, what was it, 100 affiliates, and ended up with a pool of just around 9,000 CrossFitters that had registered for the games that were indeed customers of his. And the reason we figured the high probability is that we had been told that if you had car, health, or home insurance, you had it through his company. And I said, why is that? And he said, because that's the only one that'll pay. There's others that collect premiums, but this is the one that'll actually pay out. And that's owned by all sensible people. And so he's got a crazy capture of local market. And it took no time at all to see in those 9,000 people something they'd never seen before, and that was a health creation engine. That prior to that, and they actually compared them to some Richard Branson incentivized folks, and from their big mega gym thing. And what was significant there is that those people had top-notch, were highest in the rate of their increase in payout was blunted compared to normal. So the average annual increase was very small compared to other people. What he saw in the CrossFitters was a reduction in payout, and they'd never seen that before. So he identified it, they identified it as maybe the world's first health creation engine.
Yeah.
And imagine how, we traveled all the way around the world to hear that.
Right. Well, the interesting thing, and now I'm thinking about it now, is when you look at when you graph it out and then you bring out the health curtain as it turns into the 3-dimensional portion of the power over time equation there. If you're actually following CrossFit as you age, and we see that curtain come out in terms of the insurance companies and healthcare costs, it would be interesting to layer a fourth one on that would actually be how much of the dollar you're actually using towards healthcare. And I would imagine that if you're following the CrossFit protocol, as that health curtain came out and you stayed fit, your cost of health insurance should go down because you are less of a burden on the system, as opposed to we see the inverse of that now.
Yeah, but I do want to make the point that in my sense of that model, my expectation would not be that the guy that got the curtain highest lives longest. And that I would expect the person with the highest curtain at 100 years old might have been maybe somewhat moderate in its position all along. You can imagine that. It's the guy in the gym we never paid a lot of attention to. He's making the 10-minute cutoff on Fran, but he ain't going to do 2 minutes. That
right.
If it turns out that leads more to, because look, I'm already dealing with this. The number of individuals I know that performed far beyond normal people. I'll just take Buddy Lee and jump rope. The arthritis he's dealing with in the lower extremities is terrifying. My own buddy, Dr. Will Wright. I mean, he's the guy that at Big Sky, Montana, a physician beat all the games athletes, Castro and all his buddies, beat them all to the crest of the mountain. And we had a good contingent of horsepower there. And he's had one hip replaced and he's waiting to do another one. And so I do recognize there seems to be a price to pay orthopedically for some of this, right?
Yes, almost like a diminishing.
There was some of this in other systems too. It wouldn't be a shock to me. Look, to decry sedentarism and to advance a program that no one can, those workouts were posted 25 years ago. The idea was, I got something that exceeds the capacity of the world's fittest humans. And what I mean by that is you're not going to grab this thing and shake it like a rag doll. It's going to fuck you.
Yep.
And half of the cleverness of it was that guys given to exercise would look at that on the board, and they don't even, like, what's this Fran thing? It's 15, 21, 15, 9 of these thruster. What's that? Okay, I got that. And pull-ups? Yeah, sure. I'll do that. And it was so fun to watch. It still is. In that someone who has no respect for that, you see the respect show on their face at like that 15 reps into the 21.
Yeah.
It's so like, beautiful.
Oh shit.
Actually, this is the look of being humbled right here.
Yes.
Do another. Keep going,
Yes. Yeah. And you see him just gloss over, and they're like, oh shit.
And the next day they're like, I'm actually fucking sore.
Mm-hmm.
Of that workout, we did it to accompany Dave to the SQT program, where the last phase of the SEAL training before they get the Trident. And there was a nice period there where all the new SEALs were also L1 certified. And we had a 10-minute cutoff for Fran, and some guy just made the 10-minute cutoff. And respectfully, but inquisitively, he wanted to know how fit can you get in a workout that only takes you 10 minutes? And I said, it's a great question. I've got an easy answer. 5 times fitter than you are. I have one easy measure. I can make more too if you want. If you want to see that number 5 again, I got a whole bag of things, and you'll come out, you're a 5er.
The funny thing about that,
5-cylinder engine running on 1.
Yeah, and it's going just to bring the whole thing in relation with the data set, like that is on paper. You could graph it out. We could show
Not
you.
a judgment.
Right. I don't have feelings on it. I'm just telling you that due to the data set here, these guys are 5 times fitter than you are in that 10-minute workout, and have achieved that with these workouts.
Yeah.
Do you think that when you're talking about the term of, like, as far as one of the fittest people in that health curve or whatever, is there a diminishing return on that? Is that kind of what you're saying? Like at some point there's a sweet spot?
I'm not, God, I'm an ex-gymnast, and I have gymnast friends that are also of my age or older. I was mentored by an older crowd, and they don't look like exemplars of health. And there's not that they sat around smoking cigarettes or got fat. It's just that I don't have evidence that being the youngest Olympian and U.S. Olympian, or maybe of all Olympians, I don't. This doesn't look like it's leading to extraordinary outcome.
Right. And a lot of, we see that at the highest level of really anything with physicality, right? Like every single, and you could even look at past games champions as an example of this, and they'll be the first to tell you, like, hey, I'm dealing with all these issues, but that is not CrossFit specific. You go across the board in any sport, and really even in the fitness realm prior to CrossFit, when you had bodybuilding, the main thing, 50% of those dudes are dead due to the steroid usage and the diets, the extreme dieting and different things like that. And the other ones are now, who is it? Ronnie Coleman, that was doing all those weights and was at the top of his game. Now the poor guy can't get around without a walker.
1 second, I gotta push this in another direction.
Let's pull him down for a second.
The risk is like orthopedic calamity, right? Like that's the risk you have when doing high level activity, playing NFL football, being a high level jiu-jitsu practitioner, being a high level CrossFitter, is TBIs or broken bones and torn ligaments and arthritis, and that's the risk, right?
Oh, 100%.
Would you rather that, or would you rather rot away on the couch being 500 pounds overweight,
Well, I also think that if you look back at the original stuff that Greg was doing, and to go back to even the main side workouts that were posted, that is the sweet spot. And what ended up happening is the games became the thing rather than the thing that pointed at the thing. And everybody moved away from the original prescription, which is like, hey, you're gonna, I mean, if you look back at the original stuff, it was like 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off. One of those days was usually a heavy day where you were just doing some weightlifting. A lot of those days might have been a longer run or a bike ride, or even in the original stuff, it was like 45 minutes of pickup basketball was one of your workout days.
I have a clip I have to share with you.
Yeah, please.
That you're gonna love. Hold on.
Send it over.
I'm gonna grab it here. Here it is. I like this on so many levels. And maybe you can tell me who that is.
Yeah. Okay, well, send this to you to bring up here.
He's the father of wall ball. This variant is just I love it, and I've got everything here to do it. Almost. I think I need some headgear.
Yeah, the gym's looking beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
It's a masterwork. And I tell people we're in an installation mode, so I got everything out on the floor.
Yeah.
Check this genius out.
I can see where you need the headgear.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
You didn't see the end.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Black wins by a knockout.
Wow.
I've already ordered the headgear. You know that.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's amazing.
Football helmets or hockey helmets or
that's you know what it is? It's like the CrossFit version of Power Slap.
Oh. Look at them all clapping. Dude.
Man, there's something about sport and violence that just gets a crowd going, huh?
Your insurance company would cancel your gym insurance so fast on that. They tell you it was an unlicensed boxing match.
Oh my goodness.
TKO, right? Or
yeah. That is just
Ooh, you can tell she's getting close.
As soon as you start slowing on the burpees, you're fucked.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what's amazing about that? It's like it mimics so well a boxing match where you could see him take a couple hits and they kind of stumble. It's like the second they slow on that burpee, you know that there's blood in the water.
Find out who that is.
Oh, you do?
I know. I asked Dave. I sent that. I'm like, we got to know these people.
Oh my goodness. I wonder if that was like a one-off.
They kicked out of the club, you know, like CrossFit canceled their affiliation. You can't deny the pedigree, but by motion, ball, box, look, right?
Not at all.
They're Canadian. Who would have thought?
Oh man.
Wow.
That is good. Jeez.
It's like that new league that's popping up in like Australia or New Zealand or whatever, where you have those rugby players that just go head to head. Have you guys seen that?
No.
They just it's just one-on-one. You just run at each other, and whoever gets knocked out first loses. It's like literally knocked out.
But this, you'd have rounds that go like some timer throws, and then we just insert another ball. And I'm 35 pounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get the 35-pound med ball, and someone gets knocked out for sure with that thing.
No, it's safer, Matt, because you have more time to do your crippled burpee.
That's right. Yeah, it'd be a little bit slower.
So you're gonna really load up on that ball, so you can get back up and wait for the catch.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. I wonder.
And you also take the height of the level of plyo box. There's just a few variables here, and they're all critical. I I think it's genius.
This
should be in the games.
That should be in the
There
games.
you go. There you go.
Do rounds of it. That is nuts.
Hey, you guys want to do a Kill Taylor on this shit, or one of your things in my gym? I'm all in.
That could be the workout. You just do. We'll do that, and we'll just have him and Bryson do it against each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm insured adequately or not. Just don't send anyone with a good job.
Yeah. We'll do a video waiver. I am here.
I want to pay for a deadbeat if I have to pay for someone.
Oh my goodness. their earning potential was pretty low. So
guy told me about a fucking airplane crash. It had no doctors or lawyers or accountants on it. It was
wow.
It was like it changed the law firms interested. If they want to see a spreadsheet of who was on the plane before you make commitments.
Yeah, we want occupations before we sign off on the.
It's the trolley
insurance.
problem. It's the trolley problem. It's like you kill the doctor, you kill the family of 3. Well, family of 3 is okay.
Well, let's look at the earning potential. Let's get to AIDS. Comes right back down to the numbers.
Is it an AP student? Is their kid an AP student? Maybe.
Caleb, I sent you another clip that Greg had sent over. I think it was something. It looked like it said something about
a car.
Yeah. Let's play that one next here. Health creation engine. I like that term a lot. Former Blink-182 runner Scott, now in San Diego police officer, saves life. Oh, okay. Let's see this.
Small things. You
currently don't have coverage needed.
You're right. Best trip. Always.
That's it.
Wow. Wow.
That's cool,
Wow.
right?
That's awesome. I didn't know he was a cop.
Yeah.
That's so sick. Does he still go on tour? Probably not.
Good human being. I don't know if it's X or maybe it was in the early days. But you know what I did? I saw it the other day and I had to have been interested. I wouldn't have stopped. But they said it was Blink 182. And it was a radio play that turned it into Blink 182. And so they went with it.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
it's like our buddy Savan, you know? He says they say his name wrong. That's not possible. It's just made up bullshit.
It's however you say it. That's the way it's said.
He goes, it's a lake. I go, what lake? He goes, one in Armenia. I go, okay.
Whatever you say, pal.
Oh man. So
cool.
He's fun.
Greg, you got anything going on for the holidays? You guys just hanging?
Yeah, you know, we're inviting all the Jews over.
Okay.
Well, they're done celebrating, so they have all the time, right?
It's cool. What are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
My buddy Elliot asked last night if it was always on the 25th. That's awesome.
You go, yeah, the days change, but not the date. Have you
I go, listen, there was no fuzziness about his birthday. It's the day he resurrected where there's some play in the system.
Right.
Right? It's on the other end.
Right.
Yeah.
Calendars are different back then. You know?
Yeah.
Greg, do you follow any of these this different rises in the let's call it the conservative movement with the young guy Nick Fuentes, also known as the Jew hater by a lot, and versus like the Tucker Carlsons and the JD Vances and stuff? Have you seen any of this? The I guess you call it fragmentation of the conservative movement there?
Yeah, Sevy's paid a lot of attention to Fuentes, and I've not, but I know of him through what I've read in National Review. And I always wondered if he was like Proud Boys or one of these other things that was more, we wouldn't know about it were it not for the straw man value to the left. Because Fuentes, I listened to him and there's just nothing to listen to there. And I'm wondering, is Carlson just covering him because, But Tucker's always been odd. I liked him when he had the bow tie and he looked like he was 13 years old on CNN.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
a trippy cat, and
Yeah.
he's got he's not making a fat salary right now.
No.
Think what they're paying Gutfeld versus him or Waters, right?
Oh yeah.
And so you got to do weird shit, and maybe that's what's going on with Candace Owens too.
I would say yes with the Candace Owens. I mean, the numbers on her shows, especially after her getting involved in all these crazy conspiracies around Charlie Kirk, has been insane. And she's always hooking the next show. Oh, you're not going to believe the evidence we found. Tune into the next show. Or, oh, you guys, I'm going to be name dropping with this. Wait till you guys see, and we have evidence around it. Tune into the next show. And at some point, you have to just say, like, are these people just? Is it more of them following whatever's going to bring in the numbers because of the money and the sensationalism, or are they actually following a thread of to them facts to be known to actually uncover the truth?
Yeah, it seems like a desire to be popular.
Yes, and I would agree with that completely. I also think that we're seeing, when we see the rise of somebody like Nick Fuentes, to your point, it's because we've had so much extremism on the left that it opens the opportunity just for something else, right? And one thing that Nick Fuentes does very well is he's mastered the art of modern day content, which is just saying inflammatory things that are going to be clipped and are going to become viral because of the nature of what he's saying, whether it's the language he's using or just the audacity of what he's saying. And unfortunately, what's happening, in my opinion, is you get this follow the leader. In order for me now to be relevant, I have to escalate to the point of something that Fuentes would do.
Hey, I had read from National Review things he had said, and he seemed incel-like to me. Okay, then I heard him talk finally, and I was overwhelmed with that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's maybe a misogyny that I've seen elsewhere. The radical Islam seems like an incel thing, and from Raymond Ibrahim, when we get the actual text of what's behind the 72 virgins. When you get your reward killing infidels, they're always described as blonde-haired, blue-eyes, tall with big boobs.
Hell yeah!
Why did they leave that part out? I mean, but the 72 we've all heard, right?
Right.
True.
Did you know they were going to be tall and blonde? And of course, I'm ready to blow myself up.
Hell yeah!
Strap it on.
Now you're talking. That's
right.
that's the secret part. Wow. These guys read the Arabic, from what? Commanders in the field getting everyone all juiced up for battle. You're going to get your big-titted blonde chick.
Hey, we know it worked in the pharmaceutical industry like you guys were talking about the last show.
It's like, this is amazing. You said it was a sex and death cult. Yeah. Of incels.
It's interesting to me.
Up a school, the homecoming queen, you're gonna have her in heaven.
Yeah, only to blow yourself up.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
You're not gonna have her in this life, that's for sure.
Sounds like a start of a religion. We should all be respectful.
Tolerant. You got to be tolerant. The thing that I always go to is.
And by the way, for reference, I judge religions because I have none. Someone has to do that work. It's dirty work. But as soon as you're like, yeah, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. Well, now you have it. You've picked a side.
Right.
I'm on no team.
Yeah. Once you do pick a side, or once you do belong to a tribe, it's hard to see the rest of it as objective, right?
Hey, listen, if people that read Harry Potter start blowing themselves up in the name of Harry Potter, I'm not going to like Harry Potter. And to see it more clearly won't require that I read Harry Potter.
Right. Once you have evidence of it.
Well, that's
There's
why
no
I don't
further
like.
look
I
at
don't
it.
like what people are doing that read it.
Right.
If they were to blow themselves up or kill others, leading them to believe they were off to great reward.
The operating manual is clearly flawed at that point.
I probably prefer not to read it.
What's funny is the people who are big fans of Harry Potter now are like the tranny LGBTQ plus types, which makes me want to read it more. And they're trying to cancel J.K. Rowling. So, I mean,
It's the audience
I
she
don't know.
doesn't want.
That's right.
I always wonder that with, we're seeing this, you see kind of the rise of this, the Muslims that is coming into a lot of the Western civilization now. And depending on which news platform you follow and look, they're taking over, right? Or if you're going with this Fuentes group, you believe that a small cohort of Jews in Israel is running the world and has affected our politicians at a great deal. And the only thing that I keep going back to, and maybe this is my North Star as far as untangling the mess of politics, is the fact that the middle class is being completely eroded, that the opportunity to own an asset as a young person in America, the American dream, if you will, whether that's a house or just access to owning an asset in the marketplace, is almost completely gone. And I was playing around with AI and was looking at the buying power of the dollar. And in fact, once it was pulled off the gold standard in 73, I think it was, and went to a complete fiat currency, the buying power of the dollar has just in free fall. And the issue there is that the little bit of Americans that do save lose that value over the dollar over time. It holds like gold. It holds the value. I could go back to Egyptian times and I could trade that for what I need. We could fast forward to right now and I could trade that for what I need. But if you send me back there with a $20 bill with a Jefferson on it, they're going to look at you like that's completely worthless. And same with almost now, because in 1792, when the dollar was first incepted in the United States, that value then, it was higher because it was on the gold standard than the value of the dollar now. It would cost the equivalent of $25.44 for you to have the same buying power of a $1 US in 1792. And that seems to be the thing that nobody wants to talk about, that and the deficit.
Yeah, it's very real. I want to bring this to your attention again, and then I have to bid everyone a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
But I think this thing I just dropped on you, we've put it on the show before.
Got it here. I'll send it over to you, Caleb.
Okay. And what we have is 1990 to 2024, the leading employer in each state by industry. And the shift is that manufacturing's disappeared and healthcare has taken over.
Mm.
And did that come through?
Yep.
Yeah, I bring it up right now.
So the purple is healthcare. And in 2024, all but a few states, the number one employer is healthcare.
Mm.
And
holy shit.
And it used to be manufacturing and retail. That's gone.
Wow.
But to fully wrap yourself around this, the percentage of GDP has exploded concurrent with one of the first drops in life expectancy.
Wow.
Which is like, nice work, everyone. So this is Jeff Kane, who was too smart to be CEO of CrossFit. It turns out. But Jeff Kane said that for CrossFit's good and its own. Jeff said that we don't have a healthcare system, we have a disease economy.
Mm.
And an outbreak of wellness could bring the whole thing tumbling down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which is tragic, prophetic, funny. But look at that.
That is insane.
Everyone's going to be bent over looking each other's assholes in a giant circle. Because we call it economy. Pass a buck. Take a peek and pass a buck.
Wow.
If there was an outbreak of wellness,
Someone that means is a doctor who's told what he's seeing.
yeah. If there was an outbreak of wellness, I imagine all of the hospitals would look like shopping malls do these days. Just completely void of anything. Everybody would be rating them for their supplies.
Now, and look at what Trump's trying to do. I mean, how different is this? Has there been a loss of manufacturing? Well, look at the fucking map again.
Mm-hmm.
Look in 1990, largest employer was in California was manufacturing.
Wow.
Yep.
34 years later, where everyone's in a circle looking up each other's asshole.
Yeah. And was it you, Greg, that was talking about once the cost of healthcare ellipses the defense budget, like that's when it's tumbling off the cliff?
The whole thing's shocking to me.
Yeah.
And supported again by that cool video from the weird math people on what they're terming the Will Rogers phenomenon, where we have increasing 5-year survival rates and flat or decreasing 10-year survival rates, and the except for some very special and wonderful cancers, we have no significant decrease in the number of deaths per 100,000 population.
Mm-hmm.
And that can all be explained is, again, I was speaking earlier about errors in reasoning that come down to simple logic or simple math, things that we could instruct kids on.
Yes, exactly. And the predictive value of it and understanding it rather than just appeal to authority.
Yep.
That's a great way to round it out. Greg, thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Caleb, Matt, come visit, man.
Absolutely.
Come see this thing. We unpacked 5.5 tons of weights.
Holy fuck.
My hands were so fucking sore. It was getting in each box was each plate's individually wrapped.
Oh.
And so you got to cut the nylon strapping, tear open the box, and then it comes out in a plastic bag and it's greasy as fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, all York, thank you guys at York. That was a great order. It's fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, Greg, definitely we'll have to make a trip out there and come hang out for a little bit after the new year. And Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to the family. And I hope you guys have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Greg.
Let's
sir.
shoot something here.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
I'll give you a text. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Greg Glassman, everybody. And now there's 2.
Crazy.
That was fun. I hope Greg doesn't mind the CrossFit talk, because I always love to kind of like bring that piece home with the healthcare and the importance of what we do inside the affiliate, because that whole thing ties together. And like, if you were to take an individual, and I love the fact that Greg got into the diminishing return for the people at the highest end of the sport, because that's, I mean, when you look at the main site in the CrossFit ethos, and so in even on this show, like the characters that we have, right, with like Taylor and Bryce and the programming that they do and like the competitive stuff that we do.
Yeah.
If you go back to actually the core of the methodology and you look at the shit at the beginning, right, especially at the 20, like we're coming up in, what do you say, February or whatever, it'd be 25 years of main site workouts. Like, there is no better time to really examine the programming when it was done originally by Greg and the way that it was done. He, the way that he had that written out, you really had, like, let's say there was 9 days worth of programming, right? Or you could stretch that out a little further. Let's call it like 12 days. 3 of the 12 days, 1/4 of it is going to be rest days. The other 3 are most likely going to be a heavy day where you come in and back squat or press or just do some sort of heavy lifting day. And if you did that properly,
that's all you did for an hour, like a 5x5 for an hour. Yep.
That's right. And if you did that properly, you warmed up really well, you got a little sweat going before, you primed all the movers that you were going to be lifting with that day, and then you really focused on lifting with a lot of intent, right? So 1/3 of it is, or 1/4 of it is rest, 1/4 of it is just a lifting heavy day. And so really the only 2/3, and then again, if you look at it, typically was like a 5K run or a 5K row or pick up basketball games. Like it literally used to have it on there, or go bike ride for an hour, right? So really 1/4 of all your workout days over a 12-day period was high intensity exercise.
Right.
And maybe 2/4 some of the time, but really there was a lot of balance in the program, so you went long on, again, probably 1/4 of those days. And when you look at that over a period of time, there is a lot of longevity in the original programming of CrossFit. And
Right.
once the sport really started to take over, I would say, especially through the popularity of it, like let's call it 2013 to 2018, that 5-year stretch, I would argue that most affiliates were doing, and mine's included in this, so I'm not trying to get on my high horse here, but there was some sort of strength component before, then some sort of Metcon. And so really over that 12-day span at a normal affiliate, you were going every single day high intensity, and every single day some sort of lift prior to your workout.
Right. I think maybe that's just an evolution of like people of CrossFitters, I guess. Like the people who are partaking in GPP, is that they became fit enough to be able to to withstand that amount of volume and that intensity more regularly. But looking at that programming now, it makes sense to be able to take a rest day more frequently than people do. You know what I mean? Like if I train for 4 days straight, like that last day, and I want to train again for that 5th day, like I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So what people are doing now is Monday through Friday training, and they're just burnt by that Friday.
Totally.
And so when you look at that .com workout, when you look at the .com programming as like a month to month or quarter to quarter or whatever, and you see a quarter of those days being rest days, you feel like, oh, I'm not doing that much today. I'll just do an extra 20-minute zone 2 or something. But in reality, you're not able to maintain that intensity across the month or in general because you're not taking a rest day in between those high intensity metcons or between the high intensity days.
Absolutely. Pat says high intensity every single day is high intensity every single day a bad thing? Yes. And to Caleb's point that he was just making is like, you can't do high intensity every single day, because as your body starts to fatigue from the days before of high intensity, you lose the intensity component to a certain degree.
Right.
And I think that when you're talking about longevity, if you're talking about the average person that just wants to do CrossFit because they want to be healthier, they want to live longer and have a better quality of life, then you don't need the high intensity every single day. Like you're not gonna get it. And so having those rest days allows you, when you do have the high intensity days, to really produce as much power output as you can to make them worth your while. Right. And I think we get way too caught up in like the competitive side, so much so that everybody just refers to it as a sport. And it's like, it just drives me nuts, because I think that's also the biggest inhibitor of people entering into CrossFit. Like the idiocy of thinking that, well, if we just dumb it down and we take out the high skill movement like a snatch or a clean and jerk or the handstand walking and the bar muscle up, somehow that's going to make it more accessible. Please do not kill the complexity. It is absolutely ridiculous that you would think that's going to make it more accessible. No, you've just lowered the standard of the test score so we could say more people pass the test. What we need to be doing is educating them so they're smart enough to pass the test. And we need to get back to understanding longevity in our programming, and affiliate owners out there. And this is actually one of the biggest takeaways from the Mayhem thing that I liked when I went to, is like, if you look at their programming, it's pretty intense programming, like even the affiliate one, right? They have days where there's strength days and then there's Metcons at the end of it. But one of the biggest takeaways was the fact that when they wrote out the programming, they literally were saying, this is your guys' skeleton and kind of a foundational piece of, we lay out the baseline of the programming, and then you guys pick and pull and you adapt it to your gym. Right. And for me, I really love them explaining that, and the messaging, or loved that. I guess I love them too. I love Darren. He's good. But I love the fact that they talked about that, because so many gyms were just blindly kind of like following it and just doing exactly what it is on the day that it was there. And that's not necessary. They just give it to you if you do it.
Right. And I think I don't know if Mayhem does a very good job. I don't follow them. I used to follow them, but I don't anymore. So I have no idea what they're doing nowadays. But Janelle says, Mayhem is crazy. I couldn't do it. And I agree. When I was doing it, it was insane. Like, even if you're just doing like the Mayhem 60, you're like, Jesus fuck. I can't, like, this is way too much for me. Like, yeah, they weren't doing a very good job of being like, here are your scaling options. Here's a way to do this. Here's a way to do that. Maybe don't do this today, or maybe do that today, and blah, 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 blah. And I was also very dumb young person doing this programming, so it probably wasn't helpful. And so but I think a lot of people who are very infantile in the CrossFit space, they see that, they're like, oh, Mayhem is the gold standard for programming, so I'm going to go do Mayhem. And they see that and they do that and they're like, what? No,
right.
Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. And they have no comprehension of like, well, I'm going to train 3 days a week, take a day off, train 2 days a week, take a day off. Or I'm going to like having that rhythm, or being able to look at a workout and be like, okay, well, this is our high skill movements. This is too many reps. This is how I'm going to scale today. This is how I'm going to change this, blah, blah, blah. And be able to maintain that intensity is way more beneficial than just being like blindly following this program. Just, oh, well, they have a workout today, so I'm going to do it. Oh, they have a workout today, so I'm going to do it. You can't do that.
You can't.
Needs to be conveyed. Yeah.
You got to be able to understand it and adapt it. Cody says, high intensity is one thing. How frequently do you think you should go absolute 100%? Once you build up a certain amount of tolerance, let's say, to CrossFit, so like I've been doing it for a really long time, you could probably go 100% a couple times a week, like a true 100%. If somebody is brand new to CrossFit, probably shouldn't be going 100% till they got about 6 months under their belt, and then 1 day a week. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be doing high intensity. There's not going to be that they're not going to be challenging themselves and pushing, but like a true, just like all out, like Fran style workout. Like once a week, maybe twice a week, if you have a lot of experience. And again, I'm talking about like just the general population that's coming into the gym. So don't, if you're one of those, like, I do whatever because I'm competitive, fine, that's great. Right. Good on you. I'm not necessarily talking to you or for you right now. Amir says Sentinel is intense too, but it's balanced programming. And balanced is probably the most important part, because you should be, like Caleb was just saying, like, don't just see it and blindly follow it like a robot. Like, adjust to your body, adjust to your goals, and balanced is going to be the most important part. Also, too, just like with Mayhem, you have Darren, who does all the programming with it on the affiliate side. You have Rich, who has a lot of say in it with like what he typically is doing and what has done. Look at the top. Like, look at who's programming that. Those guys are freaking so fit and are used to so much volume that their tolerance is insane. You're not going to go walk out to the creek over here and start smoking fentanyl with those guys, because you would die. Like, that's like years of building up that drug abuse to be able to have that level of tolerance. And it's the same exact thing with the exercise, obviously a much healthier version. But I'm trying to relate there that if you go to somebody who's been smoking weed every single day for the last 12 years and they're able to just take some freaking hash hits right off of like just vaporize it and hit it, you could definitely do that, but it will fuck your day up. Like, you will be in a different planet. And that might just be one of the things that they do multiple times that day. And so if you think about exercise almost in that same way, or if you want to have something a little softer for you guys out there, like drinking, you try to keep up with the drinker and they're going to drink you under the table. Right? Have a couple shots with them and they're just getting going, and I would be freaking down and out. And it's the same exact thing with the exercise. So you have to think about it in that sense. Now, same with Taylor and Bryson. I mean, those guys put in a lot of volume, and those guys are really freaking fit. So like, their understanding of the programming and who they're programming for, which they say we program for the best, scale for the rest, right? Like, that is the ethos that they go by. So again, you're going to have a really intense program that's going to have a lot of demand on your body. And so it doesn't necessarily mean you need to blindly follow it, but I do think that the balance in the program and staying true to CrossFit programming, constantly varied high intensity functional movement is the way to go. Just adjust to yourself and to your body and to your needs. I wonder if they're going to do anything for the camera keeps popping out of focus here. Not as bad as Dave's on the weekend review though. That shit was crazy. Like that, Brett. Good. Gotta love some smoking fentanyl references there. I just try to change the context a little bit because I think majority of the people would understand that put in that way versus just talking about it in terms of exercise.
Right.
Pukey the CrossFit clown said Souza did great. He doesn't give me the retard tingles anymore, or the retarded tingles anymore. Well, I'm glad I was able to change your opinion there, Pukey, because that was really the whole point of this podcast, was to change somebody, as their name is Pukey the Clown's, mind about how retarded I am. But you know what? I would say, don't read too much into that. I just had a good day. I would probably say you were right about the tingles, more so than not. Caleb, you do anything for Christmas?
We're going to watch Avatar this afternoon.
Oh wow,
me and my family. Otherwise,
that's cool.
I got to go out to do both sides, in-laws and parents tomorrow. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't really go to the movies anymore. So that my mom was like, "What movie do you guys want to go see? It's Christmas Eve." I was like, "I don't fucking what is even in theaters? What do they do these? What is it?" She suggested that new Wicked movie. Have you seen the press coming out about the new Wicked movie?
No.
Ariana Grande and Cynthia what's her face?
No, but I know those chicks are crazy looking now.
Yeah. So that's
Because
like the whole thing. Like that's the movie that came out in those theaters. I'm like, part of me wants to go see that just because I think they're insane, but I just can't waste 2.5 hours of my time watching that bullshit. Oh, great. So, yeah, I'm going to go do that, but that's probably it. How about you? What are you going to do?
Right on. Nothing, just hanging low key. My mom's having everybody over, so we'll do the Christmas Eve thing there. And then on Christmas, it sounds like we're going to be doing a Kill Taylor show. That should be interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. We are doing that.
Yeah, so fuck your family shit. Well, you're going to be here online, right?
Yeah.
At
least it's an hour. It's cool. I can take an hour into my morning.
I don't know when they're releasing the workout, so I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I do know that the workout will be accessible to just do at home, and it's going to be relatively short in the time domain.
This is a DEI workout.
So Kenneth knows here. So they probably maybe they released it, or maybe Sevon just talked about it. All call-ins get a bag of Paper Street coffee.
I think he talked about it yesterday. Okay. He called Gabe or called Taylor and suggested it, but yeah. Okay,
good. Then yeah, so we could talk about it. Yeah, so if you guys call in, I do believe you will get a call in and you do the workout, you will get a free bag of Paper Street coffee because Gabe is awesome. If Jonathan, what's the workout? If it's not
wouldn't
posted,
you like to know, Weather Boy?
I'm not saying it. Sevon, more specifically, maybe
specifically, more specially.
More specifically, all the people that do the workout on the show get teabagged. So that'll be exciting for you guys.
That's right. Just come play Halo with me one night and I'll teabag the fuck out of you.
Yeah, we got to start. Have you been promoting your Twitch game streaming more?
I did some last night, but I ended up going out really late. So it's not really conducive for a lot of people to watch.
We definitely need to make that
I've been going on. I'm doing YouTube and Twitch.
We need to promote that more.
Kind of playing whatever. Yeah. If anybody just wants to. Last night, I was getting harassed by a bot in my chat on Twitch. Weirdest thing ever. I don't know Twitch very well. I'm not like a super Twitch. I don't do Twitch. We barely do it on this show. Nobody comes on that show or comes on Twitch and watches.
Yeah.
Except for Dick Butter. And but somebody came on and they were like asking me questions and I was like, oh cool, this is fun. They followed my stream and all that stuff. And we're like, what do you do? How long have you been doing this? Blah, blah, blah. And they were like, add me on Discord. And I was like, how about you add me on Discord? Because I don't, that's weird. And then they did. And then they immediately sent me a message. And then they went to my Twitch chat and they were like, respond to my message. And I was like, no, I'm playing a game. Get the fuck out of here. And then I deleted their request. And then they're like, okay, I'm waiting. And then they just left the stream. And I was like, God, you guys are fucking weird over here.
Wow. You got
it was weird.
I bought after you.
Yeah, probably.
Jody.
Gonna get abducted.
Susan, way to save the day and lead the show. Thank you. I appreciate that nice compliment. Yeah, I got the text at like what time? Like 6:30, I think. Well, Sevon texted us way early in the morning and was like, hey, my power's out. Just FYI, I'll keep you guys posted. And so I saw that coming into the gym and I was like, okay. And then at around like 6 a.m. or so, he's like, yeah, it's still out. He's like, Susan, do you mind still doing the show with Greg? And I was like, oh boy. I saw that at 6:30 right when I finished coaching the class. And I always get a little nervous because obviously I was prepared just to be a tag along and let Sevon have to bear the burden of getting all the topics and keeping the show moving forward. So got a little nervous. And then I was tripping at first because I was going to go live maybe like 5 minutes ahead of time or so and just kind of just shoot the shit on here and get warmed up a little bit, settle in. And as I was trying to get everything set up, all of a sudden the internet started having tons of issues on my end. And so I was like, crap. And then ran out of that time to do that. And then Greg showed up and then I couldn't get it to work. We weren't live yet, but I couldn't get it to work. And Greg was like on the other end. He's like, I can't hear you. What's going on? I'm like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. I was doing the like test my internet and it was coming up with like the upload speed of like 0.9 or something. And I was like, what in the world? But I managed to plug the PEP link in over here and get that fired up. And now I'm running the test my internet speed right now, and it's at like 0.7 or 6 or 7 upload, and ended up working out and got it together. And then you jumped on, and we were able to pull it off. So nice. I was excited for that. Skiboarder 7. How do I choose the height for my C2 bike?
You sit on it.
Great question.
You sit on your bike, and then you adjust it to where your leg is just less than fully extended with the balls of your feet on the pedal. So you're not pedaling like if this is the pedal, we'll do like this is the ball. My fingers are the ball of my foot. You want it right on the pedal, like the middle of the balls of your feet on the middle of the pedal, and your leg is just going to be just slightly bent at the bottom, as if the pedal's in the 6 o'clock position, just slightly bent. That'll give you a gauge of how high you should set your seat. You don't want it to be fully extended, and you don't want to be riding it like a BMX bike because that's stupid. Same thing with the assault bikes too. Assault bike and echo bike, same thing.
Yeah, so basically you could keep the ball of your foot on as the pedal goes towards the bottom of the floor, but it's not going to be so high that your foot slips off of it.
Correct. You want to be able to have consistent tension through the entire 360 degrees. And the handlebars, I generally keep them in a position where I can stay upright so I can continue to breathe. So whether that's adjusting it forward or back, you just don't want to be leaned over. You're not riding a time trial bike or anything. It's just a regular old bicycle. So you can keep the handlebars a little bit closer to you and then keep them and then lift them up probably a similar distance or a similar height as your seat. But you just want to be sitting upright so you can maintain good posture so you can breathe.
There you go. Hope that was worth the $199 ski board. Appreciate that.
Sick.
All right, cool. So yeah, we got the Kill Taylor show coming on. It'll be an accessible workout you could just do from your living room. I do know that Taylor was working on that. Get a free bag of coffee if you call in. We'll be hanging out for an hour on the Christmas special. And then depending on what I have going on, I might jump back in here and do the my show on Thursday, which was on Thursday one week, and then it was on Friday. And then now it's on Thursday again.
That's about how my Twitch stream is. So that's like, I just kind of show up whenever I feel like it or can. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You just do it whenever. Get in where you fit in.
That's right. Like I like doing it here. This background's awesome. Like here at
That
the
is
gym,
sweet.
and I got it on this little like roll thing, and I'm gonna get real fancy. Like I have a light that'll set up here as like a key light, and then I'll have this little like block thing. So it's about to get dope, and it's cool too because I like being able to make it like accessible, so that way if I'm coaching something like today, I don't have to worry about it. I just come on in and like jump into the show. I got on this rolly desk here, so I could just roll it out and roll it back in. It is kind of funny though, like as the members are coming into the gym, they walk literally like right in front of me here, not super close to the podcast, or the setup. It's a little bit further out. But it's funny because some of them will like look and like stop and like and like slowly shut the door or something. I'm like, don't worry about it. Can't hear anything. Like there's barbell slamming out there right now and music and stuff going. And I'm assuming you can't hear any of it.
I can hear a barbell drop, but it's not. It's like nice ambient noise. It's not like it's nice.
Like that one that just dropped right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives me street cred. People are like, I've never seen him coach. I've never been to his gym. Maybe he doesn't even own a gym. Maybe the whole thing's just one big lie. I posted a video of me like working out a while back, and somebody was like, "Oh shit, you actually work out?" I was like, "All right, relax."
Jesus Christ,
relax.
All right, chill.
All right, well, good stuff. Thanks, Caleb. Appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow if you're coming on the show.
Hell yeah.
And to everybody else out there, we'll see you manana. Have a great day. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Be good to
Christmas.
each other. Watch Home Alone. It's apparently a Christian movie. So they say.
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly. Bye-bye.